Hello, everyone.
Nope.
Apparently,
not this time.
Apparently, I'm not here this time.
Caleb, welcome back. Weird about saying
Thanks.
that. All right,
Why nobody ever welcomes me?
Jason, you're always
Shit.
here. Jason, you're
Welcome
always
back,
here.
Jason.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Daniel, you said at the last podcast that you were gonna say some things about our dear president.
He could be
Daddy
a pedophile,
Trump.
man. Unfortunately, I don't want him to be.
I mean,
Do you want anyone to be a pedophile? Like, obviously, no.
No, but like there are people that you'd be like, yeah, I knew it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And
yeah.
then like this one, you're like, damn. But I mean, I came across a few court documents that were supposedly from the law firm that got hacked, and
Just to clarify, to give some slight credibility to this, when the law firm got hacked, before any of these documents were released, they confirmed that they were hacked and that information was taken about Trump and other celebrities. The law firm officially confirmed that they did get hacked by a hacking group.
right, and the hacking group said they had the smoking gun on Trump.
Yes.
Now, I mean, who knows? But
I mean, it could be just, taking advantage of an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Like it could be. I mean, I read the document that you sent to me, and it could be. Yeah, the law firm got hacked. They confirmed that there was something about Trump in it, so they made this document to make
Sure.
it seem like you know.
absolutely could definitely still be fake. But anyways, yeah, it was. If it's not, it's very damning. You know, it was.
Oh yeah.
Well, the thing is there's like, I'm going to get the number wrong, but anywhere from 4 to 6 different lawsuits accusing Trump of raping and sexually assaulting minor females.
Right.
And they were all closed with NDAs where the parents were paid, certain amounts of money,
Right.
millions, hundreds of thousands, to just keep quiet about it, which I think is almost just as disgusting as raping a 13-year-old.
To to take
For
the
your own
money.
kid, yeah.
To basically just say, oh, okay, I'll just let that go for some money. But there's also the factor of, in the documents, it said that he would, after raping them, tell them, if you ever tell anyone about this, I'll kill you and your whole family.
Yeah. Or you'll end up like
You'll
so
end
and
up
so
like
did.
Maria, who was a girl that this girl had seen Trump and Epstein rape in front of her, and
Then she disappeared.
and he said, you'll end up like Maria. And so, yeah, that's some weird shit, and the documents could be faked, but he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein at that time.
Definitely. Most definitely.
That's very well documented.
Yep.
And it's interesting.
It is.
But
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
This is what's weird about it, right? For the past 4 years, the liberal mainstream media has been coming up with everything they can to take out Trump.
Right.
That's their agenda. It's been their agenda. The Twitter, the SJWs on Twitter,
Right.
are constantly trying to find the smoking gun on Trump.
Or so it seems.
This
the media.
stuff comes out, and no one's talking
said
about
anything.
it. The mainstream media hasn't run a story on it. They haven't, we clearly have seen over the past 4 years, the tiniest, most inconsequential rumor can be put out there, and they'll run the story
Yeah,
about Trump
like
like
it's
it's
a-
100%
like it's a
fact.
Yeah.
And then it goes, oh, wait, no, that was actually bullshit. And so even though there isn't 100% confirmed proof, or at least that we know of,
Right. You would
they're not
think-
even talking about
That's
it.
what's so weird. You would think they'd run with it.
Yeah.
And then the other weird thing about those documents, if they are real, is that they were happening in the summer of 2016. Like
Yeah, all of the court cases were filed
Right.
in 2016.
Which means he was appearing at these court cases during his campaign, and you would think that someone could have found that out.
Yeah.
You know, so that either
How
means
was
they're
Hillary's
completely
campaign
fake
not
and he wasn't appearing
running
in court,
ads about that?
or it means that, you know, they were ignoring that on purpose and making up lies about him in other areas to get people to back him.
Yeah.
Every lie they've made up about him has been so easy to fucking see through that
Yeah,
it makes me think that...
He goes, oh, well, he's not that bad.
Yes, exactly. But it makes me think that the media is doing that on purpose, right? They will make up lies about him that are so easy to see through. People will back him 1,000%, right?
Yeah.
Because we're slandering this man with such bullshit.
Yeah.
People are going to be like, we gotta back him, we gotta protect him, we gotta, you know, vote for him because look at him, they're trying to destroy him. No, they never even come close to actually destroying him because they've never had anything, nothing real. If this was real, they ignored it.
Like you said, every story that they put out, every lie they put out about him, only helps him in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Because it, within a day, gets called out and shown as a lie. And then people go, oh, and they did it again. And he's been going, you know, the fake news, the fake news, the fake news. And it's like when he's calling it out and then they're feeding in the fake news. Yeah, but it's this, he's telling them, continue on with your fake news about me, and they're like, yeah, we got you, boss, and they're continuing on their fake news, and it's helping him out.
Right.
He loves the fake news.
Yeah, I mean,
it's his best weapon.
Yeah, I agree, and I think, I mean, for the longest time, I thought, you know, voting doesn't matter. It's a rigged system. They put in who they want to put in. Then when Trump got elected, I withdrew that and thought, well, maybe not. You know what I mean? Because everyone hated him as far as the media goes, and it's maybe your vote does count. But then now, I think it's just even more of a clever plan, right? Yeah. They just really duped everyone.
I mean, the Democratic platform started to get even more radical than it had ever been, and then you got Trump going, countering every single bit of that, and where a lot of, I think, liberals were even kind of getting, like, you know, not really with the whole leftist,
right?
You know, policies that a lot of the Democratic politicians were pushing forward. And so being able to, like, have him be this evil guy portrayed in the media, but when people do a slight bit of research, they realize, oh, no, that's a lie. It's like, well, maybe he's really not that bad.
Maybe he's not that bad.
And I don't really agree with some of these wild leftist policies. Some of his are a little bit more... Yeah. I don't agree with all of them either, but I think I'm going to go with him.
Something else that supports this claim would be the fact that I'm a firm believer that in that moment, Bernie would have beat him. And they clearly screwed Bernie out of that. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? So why? Why would they do that? If they knew Bernie could beat him? Because, I mean, almost everybody, I think, would agree that Bernie would have beat Trump.
Yeah.
So why would the DNC screw him out of that to put Hillary there, who everyone knew would not beat Trump?
Yeah.
They got the guy they wanted in office.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to do it again.
Well, I think, too, I mean, it's perfect the way that this all worked out because it set the entire stage for what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because
the biggest dividing factor.
Let's say it wasn't, the nomination wasn't Trump, but it either Jeb Bush or Ted Cruz. You know, they're different, but whatever.
Sure.
Like, they couldn't have demonized either one of them like that because they would not have. They wouldn't have, like, Trump. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I've never heard him say anything that was actually racist.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
He's never done that. I don't think he is a racist or anything like that. But he does say brash things.
Sure.
And he does say stuff that's not racist that people call racists. You know, and so, but Cruz or Bush wouldn't have done that. Like, they wouldn't have been able to stir up the amount of outrage towards them that they have towards him. Yep. And it's just, and then kind of like you guys were saying, like, then people that actually are reasonable look at it and go, maybe he's not that bad, you know, so it just gets everybody more at each other's throats.
Most definitely, dude. I mean, the reality of the situation is that the past 4 years has been the biggest dividing 4 years the country has seen in forever. I mean, maybe before it's been worse.
I think it started.
I mean, there
Obama.
Was that thing with, like, the Civil War that was a pretty big dividing factor.
I didn't say ever. I said in a long time, but dude, you think Obama divided?
Yeah, dude.
I don't know, man.
I was watching all the stuff, man.
How did he get reelected in 2012? Then I mean.
Well, I mean, Trump may get reelected now, but, like, when Bush was in office,
They tried to do the whole black versus white narrative with the Obama thing.
Yeah.
It didn't work. White people went out and voted for him.
What do you mean? Who tried to do it? But it was still working. Like, I mean, it still made it like it started. I watched it.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe you're right.
The
Maybe it's
political
like a
climate
slow,
got so much that the right was enraged. But like the right would go out and do like the Tea Party thing, and they would have, huge crowds, and then they wouldn't report on it or whatever. But they were just more. The right's not going to riot and burn stuff. That's the left's, thing. And so, but I remember, I mean, like, Obama, like, he said very inflammatory crap. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, real, and I don't know, like, that the right was very, very upset. Like, like that whole 8 years he was in there, like, all the right commentators were going, that's when, like, the real fissure, I think,
possibly
started.
Inside of, like, people who were already into it, though. Give me this, and I may be wrong, but do you think that as many people were into politics during Obama's administration versus Trump's? Because I feel like when Trump got elected, people who never looked at me, for example, right? Like, I never paid attention to any of that crap. And I think a lot of people didn't pay attention to politics, right? It wasn't. Now it's constant. It's everywhere. Mm-hmm. Everyone, no matter who you are, is paying attention to what Trump is doing.
But I think part of that, though, is the social media companies. Like,
they were there, though, in 2012 for sure.
But they weren't banning people and taking the stances that they took.
Yeah, but don't you think that's part of the design of the new Trump administration and the whole plan?
Maybe ramping it up. I just don't. I guess we're arguing about something that's not like. Yes, it definitely accelerated when he got in there, but I think it started when Obama was elected.
Maybe. I do. I think
for the masses,
because they
feel like the masses were paying attention.
I mean, I think that they started about maybe like Obama's second term, because I remember first actually going, hey, maybe this guy's kind of cool, and like. Because I never had anything against him. It was just I didn't give a shit about politics.
Yeah.
But I would watch the Colbert Report and the Daily Show sometimes. But he was on there. He was on the Colbert Report one time, and he was just Obama's a very he's got a great cool personality. Guy. He's a funny guy, and so they had a good little interview and stuff. And I was I didn't really have an opinion one way or the other. I leaned more towards the left, being because I am essentially a liberal in a lot of ways, and I was like, maybe this stuff's kind of interesting, you know what I mean? Like, they're kind of making it seem like this is worth paying attention to. And I didn't get super into it after that, but I think that some people probably did, and he did a lot of stuff like that. Obama reached out to the younger generation to kind of make politics cool.
Right,
and I think that it started with him, but
nothing was heated though. It just didn't seem heated.
No, it was though, man, because it's just y'all weren't paying attention.
Maybe I just wasn't. But
I mean, think about how old you are.
Were the majority paying attention, or was it just me?
I think
it could have just been me.
Like, because when I was that age, I wasn't paying attention either. But I'd already kind of started when that stuff happened. I mean, a year before not a year before it, but because he was elected in 2008. So I guess a year before his second term is when the whole Occupy Wall Street thing started.
Gotcha.
And like that was, not as violent as the stuff that's happening right now, but it was, pretty crazy. And it was because he had more of a radical viewpoint on stuff than the people before him. Like I don't know, but I don't remember people talking about like socialized healthcare and all that kind of crap before he was there.
Obama. Yeah, and maybe you're right. Maybe it was a slow. I feel like if you're probably right, but it was more of a gradual, slow thing, and then it just erupted.
Well, yeah, like I think they've like hit the gas on it, but I mean, even the crap, like it's just because people weren't as divided back then. Like I'm pretty positive that like Clinton, both Hillary and Bill were against gay marriage.
I think so. It's
like
at one point in their
because they came back and said like renounced what they said or whatever. Mm-hmm. They were like for like closed borders or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like it accelerated.
Which
and
Obama
I think
was too. At least his first term. I know there are statements of him talking about how we need
border security.
But that's what I'm saying. But like he just and he was more radical even in the way he came up. Like I remember them talking about stuff like he was tied into the Muslim Brotherhood at some point. Like he hung out with some really freaking radical, crazy people, like the Weather Underground and stuff, like in college. So I mean, there was a lot of that, and he came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
like if you were like he was not anything. I mean, he had been like a senator for like 1 or 2 terms prior to.
I think his mom was like deep in the CIA though, so
maybe
he was already well connected with that whole world, I'm pretty sure.
But he wasn't talked about though. It was just
he was like a lawyer, I think, wasn't he at first, like for a while, and then just was all of a sudden the president.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I think that's probably when it started. I mean, not that all this crap wasn't happening before, because I mean, Bush was a piece of crap.
Yeah,
a war.
I feel like it was just a different agenda then, not necessarily like against the one that's going now, but just the plans they had, and they accomplished them, and now they're moving on to their second set.
Yeah, I mean, I think things take time to set up.
Yeah,
and it's a process.
Yeah, but so to kind of jump back to the original topic, but away from Trump because he doesn't have anything to do with this so far. There's been a lot of stuff going around the internet past couple of days about this company Wayfair. Mm-hmm. They're essentially like eBay, where you just go and buy stuff.
Yeah, there's been commercials on TV about it and all sorts of shit, right?
And they, supposedly, like the way that they work is they don't. They have some products that they ship out directly, I think, but mostly they do third-party contracts where they're the middleman, and so you buy it from the website, and then the person who you're actually buying it from, they send the order to them, and then they send it to you.
Gotcha.
And like Wayfair doesn't deal with the packaging or whatever, but so people on Reddit, someone on Reddit noticed that they were selling these cabinets that just look kind of like regular old cabinets, or like metal, cabinets.
File cabinet, almost.
Not
type thing,
sort of, but like with doors instead of like actual drawers. And for like $15,000 each, right? And
are they fireproof things?
No.
Okay, because those things are way more expensive than you'd think they are.
Sure. But it's there
was more than just cabinets too, though. I think
there's a lot more than just cabinets.
It was like shitty chairs and
I'm gonna get into it. So with the cabinets, this was the one of the weirdest parts about it is the names of the cabinets, and now you can make the argument that it is a common practice in furniture to name furniture by like a human name, like a person's name. That they do that with some things.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
It's not like all furniture has some kind of a name, but there are things like that. But each one of these cabinets, and the weird thing is there's a picture of the same cabinet, two different listings of the same exact cabinet, but it's got a different name. I don't remember the names, but the names are very specific and unique. And then it says something about the cabinet, and it's like $13,000 for one, but like $12,000 for the other. They're different prices, different names, same exact picture. Very weird looking picture too, not professionally done. Just a picture of a cabinet that's oddly proportioned and cut out, no background or nothing thrown in there.
Yeah.
And there was about 6 different cabinets, but 2 of them, or maybe 3 different cabinets, 6 different posts, right? With different names on each of the duplicates of cabinets and different prices on each one. The weirdest thing is with this is that within the last month, there's been a missing child with exactly those names. And the names are not like, just Jessica or, like, you know what I mean? Just like, it's not like it's a coincidence of like, oh, well, those are very common names. It's like, and it's their last names a lot of times. And it's like, so like a lot of them were like possibly immigrants, or their parents were immigrants. So their last names were very unique, very specific. And I'm not a coincidence theorist. You know what I mean? So there's no way to me that there's a coincidence if there's these file cabinet things that are $14,000 that just so happen to have the name of children who just went missing in the past month.
Right.
They sell pillows that have zodiac signs embroidered onto the front of them. It's like a throw pillow, like a couch pillow, right? For $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 a pillow, and they each have a name on the front of them, like a person's name and then the description of the pillow. Why does a pillow need a name? A person's name? That's weird. There was apparently a review on a lamp that was sold for $15,000 or something like that, and the person said, really pleased with the product, would definitely get from this person again. I would definitely recommend her. Or he says, like, I'm gonna get one of these products again. I would definitely recommend her.
What was he talking about? The seller?
The way that it's worded, the way that I worded it was not the way that it was worded, because I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But the way that it was actually worded was, it's like if he worded it in a very, very weird way where it completely sounded like he was recommending the lamp and referring to it as a her. Because he had just referenced the lamp and then said, I would recommend her.
I'd have to read it or whatever, because I mean, it's like if you and Daniel selling vape stuff or whatever, and I'm like, this is a great product, I'd definitely recommend him. Like, Daniel put you in the right thing or whatever.
Yes. And I agree, like that there's a definite possibility. But there's an account on there called Isabel and Max is the name of the seller, and they sell elephant paintings, right, for $10,000, $12,000, $13,000, $15,000, and they sell it to you like they ship it to you and like by the pound, like not by the pound, but like, and they like tell you the weight of it. It's apparently very heavy art, and someone noticed like on an order that it was like that art would be like 109 pounds or something, and on Reddit this other person was like, you're missing the point. It's not about the maximum weight, it's about the weight. The way that they describe the art and how you can order it is, it was like, I'm gonna get these numbers wrong, possibly, but it was like 24 by 24 equals or you can get 24 by 24, and that's a 20-pound box. You can get a 34 by 34, and it's a 26-pound box. You can get a what, you know, and it went up like that or whatever, right? Well, this guy correlates the numbers of the 22 by 22 with a 22-month-old baby and what the average weight is of that baby, or maybe week, I don't remember, but and it's essentially the weights of what you can order for the art matches up with what a baby would weigh at that age. Yeah. Like to a T. On the average, like it matched up exactly with what they say the box is going to weigh when you order it 30 by 30 or this by this. And that was a really creepy like thing that he noticed. Could be coincidence. It's not proof of anything. But, you know, Wayfair is completely denying all of it, saying that they have nothing to do with trafficking. They've deleted all of the cabinets, obviously. So, like, if you have nothing to do with it... So you can't
go test it.
Well, see, here's the thing,
see
though.
If a baby shows up.
Here's the thing, though, is that they haven't taken down the pillows and all that. So that's why people know about that now. Because the cabinets were the first thing that people noticed. And then people started digging in and going into all of this. And they found these pillows that are priced at it. I mean, like, the whole point of Wayfair is supposed to be that they can get you stuff at a reasonable price.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be like a cheaper thing. Yeah. And they tried to, their explanation for the cabinets was that they were industrial cabinets and that they cost that much or something. But people were like trying to cross-reference it and look it up, and from what people have researched is that they were nothing like that. Huh. But this is one of the weirdest things, is there's, for every item on things like that, they have what is called a SKU number, right? Mm-hmm. And I would never do this because I don't want to fucking see any of this shit. But there are people who have done it. I watched a video, and this girl had done it, and she's like, I can't show any of the photos because it's absolutely horrible, and I wish that I never would have done this. But there's a Russian search engine, I can't remember the name of it, but if you go and use this Russian search engine and you type in the SKU number for these items, these cabinets and these pillows and things like that, on Wayfair, it pulls up essentially child pornography of different kids. How the fuck is that possible?
Hey, you have to test that for us.
Multiple different people have tested this and said that it is doing this. And that whole search engine has been known for a place where it's very unregulated, and it's just essentially a search engine for looking up child pornography.
You just essentially do the search engine, you put in the SKU number, and it pulls it up.
If you put in the SKU number without the letters SKU in front of it, it pulls up pictures of naked children, essentially. And for each of the items, the SKU number items on Wayfair's website. That's fucking weird.
Well, of course. Like, I mean, that would prove it to me.
If that's legitimate, then that's it. I mean, that's
and
the
it's
proof.
Just like, that's one of those where I have to trust the people who've said that they've done it, because I'm not looking up anything in the like name of research or to find the truth. And have
it could be used against
something horrible pop up on my computer that I don't want to fucking see it. I don't want that in my head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I wouldn't do it just based off of that. But I tend to believe that, you know, because this one video of this girl breaking it down, I mean, she said all of the things that were all of the allegations, and she started it with, these are all allegations, none of this is proven. And she explained all of it and then gave an argument to defend it, and then said that thing and said she did look it up and it was very weird, but and you know, she's like, she showed that she searched it and blocked out the image, and that was like, you could see like a kid's head, and so like she showed a screenshot of her searching it on that thing, but didn't actually show like what really popped up. But she couldn't.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously. So
if it is what she's saying, of course she couldn't.
Yeah. So, but it's very fucking weird, and you know, that company has there are people trying to find ties with Ghislaine Maxwell, saying she is, you know, involved with it and all that, and this is a just complete my own theory, no evidence to back it up, but the paintings, the elephant paintings one, the account is Isabel and Max, and I was just like, that's her account, like she's running that
right
operation right there. There was some shit about the whole, like, he was telling me earlier that because Austin had said something about they thought that they found her Reddit account, and that, you know, and it was this certain name. That's not hers. That whole part of it is bullshit. There's also a video going around of a girl going to Wayfair and adding one of those things to her cart, and then when she goes to like check out or goes to her cart, this name keeps popping up in the address section, and it's the name of someone who recently went missing. And the girl in the video was like, this is very obviously fake. That she would have had to have filled out her address in this section. Like, that doesn't make any sense why it would even pop up there.
Yeah.
And so like, there are people who are trying to capitalize off of this and make it, you know, but there are some, like the original screenshots that were on Reddit that are still on the internet are from the website, and they have the names on them, and they match the names of 6 different missing children that all went missing in the last month.
That's fucking crazy.
I can't find any, like, I just went on to it right now, and I can't find, they may have taken them down, but I can't find any of the, like, expensive pillows.
Did you look up Zodiac pillows?
Mm-hmm. No, I'm looking at Zodiac bedding, but like, here's.
Yeah, I mean they might be trying to purge all of that right now because of all the attention on it, or maybe they sold out of regular pillows that are embroidered with diamonds and they are worth $13,000, and I just don't know it, and this is all bullshit. But like. The few things of the names matching and of the SKU numbers pulling up shit on this Russian
that's
search
crazy.
engine, those things are weird to me. That makes me want to not. A lot of the other stuff could be explained. I'm not an expert on these products. I have no idea why they would be priced that high. It could be completely reasonable.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I have no idea, but those things are not right. Like. There's something shady going on.
Very weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it sounds like there's no.
Also, the majority stockholder of Wayfair is George Soros, by the way. Just
it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, just a little. That is a fact. So
that's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, like when you know that you have a pretty good idea that there are a lot of people in politics in Hollywood that are pedophiles, it gives some, validity to this. But
I forgot about this. This was like back in 2019. They had a bunch of employee. They had like an employee walkout. Wayfair did, and it was over news that came out of Wayfair selling or donating a bunch of furniture to a facility that was going to be used by ICE as a detention center for migrants, right, for immigrants. And the U.S. whatever Department of Justice, I don't know which one, some bullshit government agency, like, claimed and released data that they lost track of 1,500 children, immigrant children that were in the detention centers. And so people are trying to draw a connection with that, saying Wayfair was working with ICE and by giving them stuff, and 1,500 children went missing in a pretty short period of time when all of those people were coming over. And it's just like there's coincidence after coincidence after coincidence surrounding this company. I'm not a coincidence theorist. One, I'll give you.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know, it's very strange. Weird. And I'm interested to see who
would have a motive to try to take down Wayfair for some other reason? Like what would be...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what would be the motive to try to attack them or something?
Yeah, it really seemed like someone who maybe was on there shopping for furniture and... No. And...
What?
You're not having any more of those.
I hate you.
Any more what?
My Zen. Those things are expensive, dude. They only get 15 in a box.
How much are they?
It's like fucking $6 a can almost. I'm broke over here, son.
I don't blame you.
And you fucked me all up.
Yeah, well, I mean, there wouldn't be really any reason why someone would come
I was just saying, like, it seems like it was just someone on there looking for furniture and was like, damn, these fucking cabinets are $15,000. What the fuck? And then was like, that's some weird names, and was probably an avid Reddit user and was like, this is weird, and then started doing some research and figured it out and posted it on Reddit, and they screenshotted it, and there were other people who went and looked it up and screenshotted it as well, I'm pretty sure, before it got taken down.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's wild.
It's fucking weird, man. And Jolene Maxwell's been arrested. We'll see if she suicides herself or if she'll spill the beans.
Dude, I mean, there's no way she'll make it to court and testify against any high profile anyone.
At some point,
there's no way.
At some point, if she doesn't, though, like, when are people going to be like, okay, These people just kill themselves every time they get arrested.
Dude, people right now are believing that 2 + 2 = 5 over the coronavirus. You can manipulate the masses.
But I've never seen anybody.
If we don't believe it, it doesn't matter.
Epstein killed himself.
Yeah, but like it still doesn't matter. Nothing you can do about it, right?
Yeah, because the official story is that he killed himself.
Exactly. It's. I don't know. I mean, I'm with you. I would hope that people do, but I mean, look. Like I said, look at what's happening. It's all across the country. We're being told that we have to wear masks no matter where we go. In the middle of July, where no coronaviruses could fucking even survive, using a mask that on the box says that it will not protect you against a coronavirus or any other virus, and people are putting them on because the new narrative is that 2 + 2 = 5.
That video,
and now you have to believe it. It doesn't matter what the truth is.
That video you sent, where that guy was talking about how this is about facial recognition and social credit score, and it's improving their facial recognition to be able to tell who we are, even when our face is partially covered or mostly covered.
Yeah.
And that makes a ton of fucking sense.
Yeah.
It's also crazy. Did you hear what Shelby County is requiring restaurants to do now?
Dude, contact tracing.
Yeah. So if you go into a restaurant in Shelby County, they're supposed to, if they're following the ordinance or whatever that they've passed, is that they have to keep a list of everybody that was in the restaurant, but not only that, but where they sat. So that way, if there's somebody that comes in that's like a confirmed case or whatever, then they have to I don't know what would happen from then. I guess they have to contact everybody,
Yeah, they're taking down your name and your number.
Yeah.
Can't eat there unless we get your name and your number first.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not going.
Yeah.
You know what's really fucked up? The other day I got pulled over. And it's been a while. I may have said this on this podcast already. But, I get pulled over. The lady, the cop, she's got my license. And I'm pretty sure, I'll have to look at it. I think your license has your weight on it anyway.
I don't think it does anymore.
Does it not?
Mine does.
Last time I looked at mine, it didn't. Because I was like, what did I weigh with last time I was trying to check and see. Unless I'm just an idiot and couldn't find it, or it's on the back or something.
I guess it's not on there anymore.
No, that's got height. Anyway, she asked me my weight. And, I tell her that. And then she's like, and what's your social? I said, no.
Get out of here.
And she goes, I was like, why do you need that? And she goes, I just have to put it down. I said, I'm not giving you my social security number. And she said, you can either give it to me or I'll get it from dispatch. I said, well, I'm not giving it to you.
Yeah, get it from dispatch.
And then so she calls, and I hear him just say my social on the thing. What the hell?
That's fucked.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Why do you even need my social? You got my driver's license number. You've got the ticket connected to it. Why the hell do you need my social security
What did you
number?
get pulled over for, if you don't mind me asking?
It was speeding. Why?
Because, exactly.
Victimless
Yeah.
crime.
It was speeding.
Yeah.
I mean, why the fuck do you need my social security
yeah.
number for... If you're going to write me a ticket, write me a goddamn ticket.
Yeah.
If you're going to give me a warning, give me a fucking warning.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Which is ridiculous in and of itself. I don't think cops should be able to give warnings. If you see a crime happening and it is on the books a crime and your job is law enforcement, you should have to enforce that law.
Yeah, and see, I could kind of get behind that, because that gives them more power to decide who they want to punish and who they don't.
Yeah.
It enables them to be able to, let go the people that they like and punish the people they don't.
Yeah.
It's not
Which we all know as
No.
black people. Right?
Right.
They let them go or they
Just wanted
punish
to
them?
make sure. They punish them because they obviously hate them.
He said he was a liberal.
I mean, it's just a fact.
It's just a fact, huh?
No.
Yeah, that's...
I don't understand, that's what... So a guy that I used to go to church with, his daughter, went to the University of Memphis. I think she was homeschooled up until she did that. She'd been going there for a little while, and she came home and was like, Dad, you're racist and you don't even know it. And like this dude is not like he loves everybody, like great guy. And she goes, "What are you talking about?" And there's just these classes. She's like, it's an unconscious bias. And like anyway, they had this big debate, and it was all the main talking points or whatever. And then she said, and she made the statement, black people can't be racist because they don't have any power, institutional power. And he was like, Obama was in office at the time. He goes, that's fine. He goes, so he looked it up, and he goes, here's your president, black. Here is the attorney general. I think it was that Eric Holder guy at the time, black. And then he was like, he went through everything. Mayor of Memphis was black. City council was large majority black.
Yeah.
Police chief black.
Yeah.
Fire chief black. Like, it just all the way down the line. And he's like, so how do they not have power again? And like, because she hadn't been just shoved into the school system all of her life and brainwashed. He was like, it was like her mind exploded for a second of like, I can't combat that. Like they are in control of all of it.
Yeah.
So like, what? I don't know.
I mean, here's my
crazy
thing,
that you pay that much money to go get taught that.
Yeah. Like that's
what?
Yeah.
My whole thing about the simple talking point of you have to have power to be racist is completely invalid. Completely.
Sure, of
because
course.
I don't think anywhere in the definition of racism it says that.
No,
if you hate someone because of the color of their
it,
skin, that's racist.
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore.
It doesn't matter if they have power over you or you have power over them. It's like, it's very simple.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy that they're teaching that crap.
I know. And even if you take, like, you can say that or whatever, but I think Mayor of Memphis now is white. Like, but you're going to tell me in Memphis and just nationally, I don't know, what's one of the Memphis Grizzly players? What's that dude's name? Ja Morant.
Sports.
Yeah, Ja Morant. He was like rookie of I don't know if he won rookie of the year, whatever.
Yeah.
He's one of the bigger names in the NBA right now. He plays for the Memphis Grizzlies. You're telling me that guy doesn't have more power than the mayor of Memphis?
Yeah.
If that dude wants the mayor gone, mayor's gone. Like they'll because he has more people supporting him than the mayor has supporting him.
Yeah.
Like, so it's ridiculous.
I mean, the most influential celebrity, I think it might have been person, but it could have been celebrity, and this was male, female, all around. The most influential celebrity on the world, in the whole entire world, is Beyonce. Like, she has more influence than anyone else in the world, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, which, I mean, that doesn't make her the most powerful person in the world, but you know, it's just like there are plenty of people who have plenty of power that are of all different races. Yeah. And that's why, like, that whole argument doesn't even make any sense.
You know what else doesn't make sense? Jay-Z, you do have a bitch as a problem. Like, I mean, if she's got that much power, I mean...
Yeah.
I don't think you should perform that song anymore.
All that bitch.
She may be a big problem.
They're so freaking smart. Like, they did that whole... She had an album come out. Like, that was a story that came out about how he cheated on her with, like, a hairdresser. Hairdresser or something like that. And then she did a whole album about it. And it, like, sales were incredible. And Maddie was, like, really into Beyonce at the time. And she was, like, telling me all about it. And I was like... I promise you that they sat down together before any of this and said, hey, let's create a fake affair and we'll put it out into the public that I cheated on you, and then you can write an album about it and it'll be super big, you know. And then after the album blew up or whatever, they admitted that they did that. And I was just like, yeah, obviously. Like, that's not... And... Like, they're smart. Jay-Z's one of the smartest businessmen on the planet. You know what I mean? He's been one of the highest paid rappers for a long time and hasn't been pumping out that much music. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, like he's definitely part of the Illuminati.
Well, sure. But, like, you know, he's got connections, but he still, like, is a businessman more so than a rapper. You know what I mean? But
I don't understand I do not understand Beyonce. Like,
I think she has a great voice.
There has never been
She can dance her ass off.
There's never been one song that I've even not hated. Like, she, to me, is the worst out there. Like, most people, I can find at least some redeeming quality about their music. Hers, I can't.
Now, see, I agree with you in a sense of, like, I really do not like her music. I think that, what was it, Destiny's Child, they have some jams. I wasn't ever like into them.
I'll give you
they
that.
have some jams.
Didn't they
Once
sing
she got like
Don't Want No Scrubs or whatever?
No, that's TLC.
Oh.
TLC was the shit. They were way better than Destiny's Child.
Let me see. I don't even know what Destiny's Child is.
But like I said, I couldn't name a Destiny's Child song, but I know that I've heard them, and they were all really good together. And Beyonce was clearly the best out of them. But once she got into the music industry, they just destroyed her music, but she's still incredibly talented.
Say My Name was one.
Yeah.
But
like, yeah, I mean, her music is trash, but that you could say that for a lot of different artists who are really talented.
No, but I'm saying hers is worse.
No, like, I agree with you. Like, it's really bad. Like,
I don't understand. Like, I don't understand how she's as big as she is. Like, she's moderately attractive. She's by no means, like, I don't know. And I know you've seen that picture of her, like, the Super Bowl, where it's the ugliest picture of a human I've ever seen.
Yeah.
like,
I mean, you can always get those, like, you know what I mean? Like, the right face, right moment. Like, there's always that. Really
I just don't think she's,
picture.
like, I don't know. I don't get it. Like, I think Rihanna's more attractive than she is.
I couldn't give you that.
I mean, not a lot more attractive. I'm just trying to think of somebody in that same genre. I think Nicki Minaj is way more attractive than she is. Like, I don't understand Beyonce, is what I'm saying. Like,
I'm with you.
I don't know.
I think she was created. You know what I mean? Like, she was in Destiny's Child. She had talent. And then she got picked up and was turned into Beyonce.
But was she cloned?
That's
possibly.
The question. That's the real question. Yeah, that's what doesn't make sense. There's tons of talent out there.
That's why her skin is lighter.
Her talent doesn't make her special.
They put the setting wrong on the clone machine.
Yeah.
It's not that she's been bleaching her skin. It's that they fucked up that machine.
Do you realize, I haven't checked this at all, but I mean, I don't know. I tend to kind of believe a lot of the stuff Tim Pool says because I don't feel like he has an agenda and stuff. Yeah. And he was saying that, like, there's a teeth whitening thing out there that has taken whitening off because they don't want to be racist.
Oh, my God.
Everybody's teeth are damn white. Like,
yeah.
What?
I think we should change it to teeth blackening.
Yeah.
You should turn your teeth black.
Yeah.
I'd rock black teeth. Like Heath Ledger in The Patriot.
Yeah.
Drinks that fucking
That was a
teeth.
hell of a movie.
Yeah, I watched that recently. It's a great movie.
Did
you? Yep. Put it on Netflix, I think.
Yeah.
Great movie.
They're doing that though with a lot of things, taking like blacklist and whitelist, like they're trying to get rid of that, and like anything that's just like colors are racist now, basically.
Yeah. Dude, so dumb. It's just crazy, man. I was talking like, have y'all ever watched the Rocky movies?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. It's been probably a while since you've seen them.
Been a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So me and Katie were watching through it. We got to Rocky 3, and I was like, this is one of those things they're going to censor before too long. Because, like, the whole thing...
Is
like,
Rocky 3 the one with Mr. T?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was my favorite.
That was my favorite, too. Yeah. And John's like, no, Rocky 4, man. Rocky 4. I was like, no. And I know I'm
Rocky
in...
Rocky 4's the
Russian.
The Russian.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
That's debatable for sure.
We're in the minority...
I like the Mr. T one. Dude.
Yeah.
Mr. T, that. Oh, that movie was good.
Because that's the one where Mick dies. You got Apollo. Because you already kind of like Apollo. Yeah. I think what really... You hate Mr. T more in that movie than you do any of the other people. Because you never really hate Apollo in, like, the first two.
Yeah.
And then when Mr. T gets there, like, the first time they fight... Well, first of all, he's just being a dick the whole time. But as they come out there... Because they had that... What's his name? Will Frazier. Is that his name? The boxer, the actual boxer?
Yeah, Will Frazier.
I feel like I'm getting the first name wrong. But
I think it's Will.
So, like, in the second...
Joe Frazier.
Joe Frazier. Yeah. So, in the second one, he comes out as like the celebrity and does the MC thing, and they shake his hand. And the third one, Apollo comes out as that. He walks up to Mr. T, and Mr. T's like, get away from me, you washed up has-been, whatever. It like just jaws at him, like hits his hand down or whatever. Like you end up but anyway, I'm getting off here.
It's like a great movie. Run through all the Rocky movies real quick.
So like, but you know, so Mick dies. He loses first to Mr. T, and then Apollo, because he's pissed at him too, he comes and he's like, listen man, I'll train you and we'll fight. So Apollo apparently came from like the West Coast. All this is happening on the East Coast. He came up on the West Coast, and that's where he like trained and all this. So he takes him back there.
Yeah. And
like the whole time, Paulie, like, because it's like Adrian, Rocky, Paulie, and then Apollo and his trainer. But it's like everybody in the gym's black or whatever. Mm-hmm. And the whole time, Paulie's just bitching, like, I don't want to be here. No class, or whatever. And, like, he even, like, I don't know, he alludes to them being black or whatever. Like, but, like, the whole thing, like, it's funny because he goes, they walk in, they're looking at him, and Paulie's like, Rocky, I don't like these people. And Rocky looks at him and he goes, hey, he goes, hey, Paulie, maybe they don't like you much either.
That's fair.
Like, so he goes in there, and they all love him, and like him and Apollo are tight or whatever. But the whole thing, like, and even at the end of it, Paulie's like, no, this is great, because I mean, he's teaching Rocky how to like move, and so like he's like teaching him like rhythm and stuff too, because Rocky just used to come out there and just stand and just beat people or whatever, and. Like, so Paulie's got a problem with all that, and like, but then at the end of it, Paulie tells Apollo he did a great job. Like, everybody's hugging. Like, it's funny because and then at one point before Mick dies, he calls Clubber Lang, Mr. T, a damn ape or whatever. But like, it's not the way he says it, and you can tell from the context, it's not a racial thing.
Yeah,
it was just of how like
the strength.
Well, not that. Like, it's like the whole. If you go back and watch it, like Mr. T's like the whole time he's just acting like literally like an animal. Like he picks fights with everybody around him.
That was like I always liked the villain and stuff, and so like I didn't hate him when I watched that. I always loved him. Like, I loved the way he acted and was like such an asshole, just because like he was such an asshole, and it was just so funny to me. Like, but anyway, he like, so my whole point in it is like that whole movie is so anti-racism. Yeah. Like, Paulie comes in, it shows him being ignorant, like there's everybody together, but they'll end up banning that because of like those two things that he said, which is so ridiculous. Yeah. It's so inverted. Yeah. Like, it's clearly too. Yeah, it's like it sounds like that's a lesson showing how someone can be ignorant and have, you know, racist thoughts, and then have experiences and go, oh wait, I was wrong. Yeah, like, that's dumb. Yeah. And like, that's the most important thing.
But there's no room for forgiveness in today's world. You don't get to change. Yeah. You don't get to,
you just die.
Yeah, no one judges you based on your past things that you've done, good things that you've done. No one does that, right? It's if you mess up one time, all of whatever you've done in your past or ever you will do in your future doesn't matter. Yeah. It's about that one moment.
Jelly Roll says something about that.
And that
they gonna still hate me for that single fucking thing that I've done.
Man,
the good outweighs it by 1,000,000 to 1, but they still gonna hate me for that single fucking thing that I done.
That's the world we live in. Like, and you don't even have to mean what you say or even know that you said anything.
No.
It doesn't matter about anything else. You're done.
No. Yeah. And it's so weird.
It's no world to live in.
Like, even stuff like they don't take into account like the cultural context and the time in which stuff happened.
Sure.
Like, when I was a kid, I knew a kid that had a rebel flag hanging on his wall. Nothing. This dude was racist.
Yeah.
He just was not in the South or whatever, and that's where he was from. But like, it was just, I no doubt in my mind, was there anything racist about it? And most people wouldn't have seen it that way. Right. Even like in 2000, whatever, 2, 3, whatever. Like most people, you could have had black kids from my school walk into that kid's room, and no one would have thought anything of it.
Yeah.
But now, like, if there were a picture of that kid in high school with that up, like, he wouldn't be able to get employed anywhere.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And how the fuck are you supposed to know
Yeah.
what people are going to be pissed off about in 20 years when, you know what I mean? Like, Jesus.
It's crazy how easily the media can brand a symbol or a gesture or a word or anything as racist, and then it's just completely ruined from there on out. Like with the OK symbol, you know?
Yeah.
Like this story is wild. Okay, there was a truck driver. I don't know. He drove for some electrical company or something like that. But I don't know. Like he was just driving his work truck, and he was driving past some protesters, I guess, or maybe just some good SJWs doing the Lord's work. I'm not sure, but he had his hand out the window. And he had been cracking his knuckles, like, you know how you crack your knuckles?
Yeah, with one hand.
And right as he brought his knuckle back, like, it was like making that gesture, and they took a picture of it, right? And so it was like, it was in the downward position, which is what they really claim is the white power symbol, And so because WP...
Yeah, but no, it has to be up to be a WP.
No, that's WB.
No, bro.
That's a news station. It doesn't matter.
Anyways, yeah.
His hand it doesn't matter. This is the thing. It doesn't matter which way you do it. They'll call you racist.
Oh yeah, of course.
So they post this picture online. They send it in. Someone calls the place that he works or something like that, and within a few days or a week, he gets fired for being a white supremacist. Okay. This man is a Mexican. He's a Mexican guy. Imagine the conversation between his bosses.
Right.
And they told him, he said they told him specifically, you're being fired for doing white supremacist hand gestures or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he just lost his job just like that because someone took a picture at the right moment while he was cracking his knuckles, hanging his arm out the window.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy to me is if something doesn't stop, I don't know, everybody will be considered racist that they want considered because they blend it with so much other stuff. Mm-hmm. How long is, okay, so let's say I was sending my kid to public school, and let's say he, whatever, he's 7 now, and let's say I put him in middle school and public school. By that point, is it going to be hey kids, are any of your parents capitalists? Because that means they're racists.
Right, yeah. Right.
And because, I think that's the direction we're headed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
sure.
Definitely, dude. I don't know.
The crazy thing forgot to mention this, about the OK symbol being turned into a white power symbol is it was a 4chan joke. It was a 4chan troll. Right? That was obvious. Everyone knew that it was a troll on 4chan, and then the mainstream media picked it up and ran it as being, white supremacists are actually using this as a symbol when they never were. And to this day, they still claim that it's being used by white supremacists, but it is. They did say it is also the OK symbol, but it's being used by white supremacists as a white power symbol. It
used to be, when I was in school, again, the big game was put it below your thing. Mm-hmm. If somebody sees it, you hit them.
Yes. And that is still a thing that happens all the time. People are doing that. It's still a game. And up until recently, they had no idea. Well, no, that was always a part of it, too. There were different ones.
This one is older. This is Jason.
That's me.
This is Jason. This is newer.
Why?
I swear
probably because of that shit. I don't know.
Well, the way I remember, and I could be wrong, but when I first was introduced to it, there were different levels of how hard you got hit, and it was depending on which one you did. I swear that's the way I remember it the first time I was introduced to it. So I
never played that.
I think they were both
around.
To
hit me, I'm gonna hit you back.
No, I never did either. So I was the exact same way. I would look at it and be like, because me, most people that were would look at me and be like, I'm about to hit you, and if I'm like, you you really think you're about to hit me? Like, they're not going to.
Right.
But
No.
like, I'm not playing that stupid fucking game.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, man, the media can definitely turn anything into something. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, they can do it overnight, and then now something is bad. You can't do it anymore. And it's getting worse and worse. But I think it's a Masonic symbol, and they're trying to throw it off. Dude, both of them, it's a 33, baby.
We'll see, yeah. But that's like different. You could do that any kind of way, and it would still be, all you got to do
33.
is have 33. And it has to be both.
Or you could be standing there with a brother and both of you doing it.
Yes.
Well, Scottie Pippen,
Yeah.
a Mason.
Yeah, 100%.
Probably.
I saw a tattoo on Billy String's arm. It was just, he just has the number 33 tattooed on his arm, and I was like, oh God, what have you gotten yourself into, Billy? I really don't think it has anything to do with that. Like, it could be, like, it could, I don't know his life. I don't know him.
Sure.
So, like, that number could be significant for 1,000 different reasons.
Sure.
Listen,
You know.
like that. You know that just that 3 that's on people, like that's like a Roman numeral 3.
I think I've seen that. Yeah.
Okay, like Tim's got it, you know, and it's a, from what I understand, it's a 3% is what it means, and the whole point of it is only 3% of the colonists, the American colonists, fought back against the British, and so it's like a freedom thing. Like,
Yeah.
we don't need everybody. 3% could get people off of us or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, so it's there. So this last year, this college football player gets drafted into the NFL, and he's got that on him, right? And like, somebody on the draft day sees it, and I don't know, like, I'm sure it's just a somewhat kind of like the symbol you're talking about, that it was it like some kind of joke. Somebody said it was white supremacist or whatever.
Yeah.
And they basically said that there was this huge media roar that he had this white supremacist tattoo, and he apologized and said he was going to cover it up, and that he didn't know it meant that. I'm like, man, he said he didn't know what it meant, and I'm like, man, you absolutely knew what that it wasn't white supremacist. You knew what it meant. Who gets a tattoo and goes, I don't know what the fuck that means.
Yeah.
Saw Tim, he had it, I wanted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hate when they apologize when they know that they haven't done anything wrong.
Yeah.
Like, because then it
makes it worse for everybody, too. Like, the more people that do that, the more. And that's what I was listening to Tim Pool, like, before y'all got here, and he was, like, talking about social justice warriors and stuff, and he's been on the ground with, like, he's like, I've tried to talk to these people, and he's like, they'll be screaming or whatever, and I'll try to even empathize and be like, man, I'm so sorry that was your experience. Can you explain more? He goes, they just get madder. He's like, even if it seems like you're on their side, they're still, fuck you, where'd you come from, you racist or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, man, I'm trying to understand, and like not challenging them at all.
Right.
Being empathetic. He's like, they just get madder and
They just wanna
madder.
keep yelling.
He's like, the only thing that will appease them is they want you on your knees in front of them, saying, I'm sorry, please don't fire me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think the problem is it's not going to get better because people don't care enough. People don't care enough. The average person, even, I bet, I mean, they did like some kind of poll the other day that said like 70% of people that were polled said that all lives matter. They identified much more with that than Black Lives Matter. But, like, it doesn't matter because nobody says anything.
Right. Nobody's going to stand up
Mm-hmm.
and be like, no.
Yeah.
Because if one person does, they get destroyed. We all have to stand together or we die alone.
There needs to be some kind of an organization for normal people. Like, not join an organization, but to be able to organize for, like, everybody that thinks that to, like, post it, say it, whatever, on a day, and then they can't. Like, everyone cannot get fired because of that. They can't get canceled because of it.
Yeah. I read a horrible story this morning about this girl. I don't know. I forgot where it was at. I don't know where this happened, but It was, I guess, at some type of protest or something. And there was this white girl and her fiance, and they got into an argument with, I don't know, like 2 or 3 black guys. And they were, I don't know what the argument was about, what they're arguing. And the black guys were on Black Lives Matter, and the white girl said all lives matter at one point in the, that's like the only thing that I really know about the argument. It fizzled out, and the black guys went away, and she walked away, right? It was in some kind of canal area or something, I don't know exactly, but the black gentleman went up to the top, calling them gentlemen, but it's about to get bad. They go up to the top of the bridge, and she, I guess, was walking underneath, and they just waited for her, and when she came under, they just fired down on her, shot her in the head like 3 or 4 times, killed her. Her fiance had a gun on him, apparently. He fired back, but they were way up high, and I think it was dark.
Yeah.
And he didn't hit any of them. They're still, on the loose.
See, what's funny is if the races had been reversed, there would be nothing on any news thing except for that.
Yeah.
Like, that's all that would be reported.
Yeah. She was like, I think 26 maybe, had a kid, and was about to get married to her fiance. Who was Mexican American, like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's not like she was, like, she's obviously not I mean, like, that doesn't, okay, maybe she doesn't like black people. I don't know this girl, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea. But saying all lives matter does not mean you should get shot in the head.
Isn't it crazy, like, that they can turn something like that? Like, that shouldn't even be opposed to what you're saying. Like, in a normal conversation with a rational person that was like, hey man, Black Lives Matter, like, a reasonable, rational, great response is, yeah, I know, all lives matter.
Yeah.
Like, but now it's
did you see the Don Lemon, Terry Crews thing? Don Lemon literally said that not all Black Lives Matter. That Black Lives Matter is not about all black lives. I mean, he confirmed that with what he said.
Is this the most you're talking about when? Did you see, like, the 13 clip of him?
I don't think so.
So it's funny is, like, Don Lemon in 2013 basically said he went on what would, I know he's black, but he went on what would now be considered a racist tirade, because he was basically saying Bill O'Reilly didn't go far enough when he was calling out the black community. And, like, he just said all kinds of stuff about it. But now he's shifted to that.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. Like, Terry Crews is trying to say that all Black Lives Matter, and he was formulating it in a very articulate way.
Yeah.
Laid out his whole thing. I don't remember everything he said. But Don Lemon says, that's not what Black Lives Matter was started about. It was started about police brutality, and if you want to start an All Lives Matter movement, then you need to go, or an All Black Lives Matter movement, then you need to go start one of those.
So now you can't even say all Black Lives Matter.
Exactly. So by saying that, he was saying that the Black Lives Matter movement doesn't cover all black lives.
Well, the reason they're moving
it's a little
towards
more accurate, right? Because in their own community, they don't act like Black Lives Matter.
Well, that's
what that is one of the things that Terry Crews brought up that sparked
right.
Don Lemon to say that.
Was he talking about there apparently there was some, I think it was in Chicago, I don't remember exactly. The guy's daughter got shot because of, like, gang violence or whatever.
Well, he didn't give any specifics. It was like in a course, I don't remember the time period, but a pretty short time period. There were like 6 to 8 children that were murdered in Chicago.
Yeah.
And it was all like black on black violence.
Mm-hmm. Well, this dude's daughter had gotten shot, and she was, like, young, like 7, 8, whatever.
I think he might have been one of the cases that he was talking about.
The reason they were probably talking about it is the dad, like, they interviewed him, and he said something like, I don't want to hear anybody say the phrase Black Lives Matter when you guys don't give a shit about what just happened here.
Yeah.
Basically because it wasn't a white person that did it.
Yeah.
And, like, that's probably why they were talking about that.
Yeah, but it was Don Lemon's such a slimy piece of shit. And Terry Crews is the man. Like, I love that guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he just was dropping knowledge, and every time he would start to talk, Don Lemon would start talking over him. and since they were doing like a telecast thing, when Don Lemon's mic kicks in, it completely cuts Terry's out. So you can't even catch what Terry's saying because his feed cuts out completely. But if Terry tries to talk over Don's staying strong. He can still keep talking, and you know his gets louder, and it's like you could tell as soon as Terry Crews would start making sense, Don Lemon would interject and cut him off, and then just accuse him of some bullshit, basically, and like it was ridiculous.
Well, that's what these people was listening to were saying about that, like Don Lemon's first thing. He was like, actually what he was saying was racist against black people, because he was saying like their communities, they just throw trash on the ground or whatever, and he was like, that isn't, Don, you idiot, that's not a race thing. That's you live in a very wealthy place and you're comparing it to non-wealthy places. You know. And
Jesus.
Yeah. It's just funny, man. Like those people are the most soulless people.
Yeah,
the
they're
media.
so out of touch with the real world, and they're the ones who are
shaping everything,
presenting what is happening in the real world, but they have no idea what's really going on.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah,
good on you, Don Lemon. He's a lemon for sure.
Well, is that about it tonight?
Yeah.
All right. We appreciate it.
Shout out to Tim, St. Clair, and Bradley.
That's right.
Our only listeners.
Our biggest fans.
Gilly needs a shout out too. He listens.
Oh, Gilly. Yeah. We need to get you on here, Gilly. Get on here.